Telugu actor ante?
As in, he molded you to the Telugu sentiments. And
Yeah, exactly. You've done your homework.
Talk about the social media criticism. How are you dealing with it?
I'm open to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
I grow from it. But these faceless trolls and all that, I actually don't bother. Mother Teresa gets trolled. The Pope is getting trolled. Dalai Lama is getting trolled.
Siri, you come from a film family, and a lot of people outside actually think it's very easy for you to make a film.
And my dad is not the kind of producer who would get carried away out of blind love for his son and put his money, sink in a lot of money on just thinking that it'll work, or he's not that kind. Let's do something fun. We're all talking serious stuff.
How was the equation with Lavanya? How did you guys break the ice?
I don't think for me breaking the ice with any girl was like a problem, because every now and then shit happens like, don't talk to me ever. So that ever, in case I'll talk to her an hour later, she'll underline also, ever. And then it always happens, and then after 5 minutes, she acha, see this, she really show. Machpo, don't talk and machpo. I'm more patient with people. I'm more pardoning. Like I said, we all enjoyed the process so much. We didn't want the film to end. Just keep what is happening in your life. I'm doing Srirastu.
Hi Siri, thanks for being on the show. It's such a pleasure to interview you. Actually, I meet to work chesaka. It's been like 3-4 years almost now.
Yeah,
and now I see you as an actor. It's so good that both of us have actually moved ahead in life.
Yeah.
For the better, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you're in great form right now. The teaser and the trailer has received such great response.
Okay.
What are you feeling right now?
I'm pretty. It's an English interview, right? Yeah. I'm pretty excited, really. We've traveled. Me and the director Bujjigaru have traveled with this story and these characters for over a year. And finally it's coming out,
Right.
So in a sense there's an excitement on how the audience will receive it, but there's also a certain sadness that the process is over. After 2 weeks from now we'll dismantle everything and we'll be moving ahead in our lives.
Right.
So in a way I'm feeling nostalgic and quite excited on how the audience will receive this film.
Right. So it's been already 2 years that Kotta released,
Yeah.
Why did you take that break?
I actually was supposed to start another film. 3 months we did script work and all of that. But then I had second thoughts over it, so I dropped out. I lost time on that. And then before starting that project also, I underwent a knee surgery. I had an injury during Gauravam. Throughout Kottaganta, I couldn't treat it. So finally that needed 3 months. I was limping for 3 months basically.
Right.
So I couldn't work between August and November. November I was supposed to take that film off, and we called it off in Feb.
Right.
And then by the time we took on another project and started it, we started rolling it, and then things took time. So
Right. So did that gap help you to decide on what you want to do next?
it was, in a way, it was one of the best things to
Blessing.
happen to me. I was able to reassess a lot of things about myself, learn a lot of things about myself, and take better decisions. I think it all happened for the good, because I feel this is the right project for me to make my second outing as a straight Telugu film.
Right.
So I think this is the right project for me to take me into the audience, the perfect director and all that. So I'm glad in a way the gap worked out.
Right. So going by the trailers and teaser, it looks like a romantic family drama, right?
Yeah.
So what got you interested to get onto this project?
No, originally I like such films. I like, when I was growing up, I loved Ninne Pelladta, Murari, Atadu, Mr. Perfect, Bommarillu, Parugu, Arya 2. These kind of films I really love, and it is on the same genre. It's on the same genre, so it is like a genre which I really like.
Right.
So I anyways wanted to do these kind of films. I was, even when I was not an actor, I was offered these kind of films. And this is a very comfortable territory for a young actor to play, where you're playing something closer to yourself in real life, closer to your age in real life. Even the personality of the actor, of the character, is similar to me in real life. So it's like home territory.
Right. The shoot went on for a long time, right, Siri?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
were you trying to get everything right? Is that why it took so much time?
Not really. First 1 week I couldn't get the character's meter.
Okay.
But then we got it, and then we were fine. We took time because in between my cousin was getting married. We didn't get the dates of a lot of actors because we have literally 15 actors. Okay. And we had to shoot a block, a Sangeet and a marriage block, where all 15 actors were there. So getting the actors for 15, getting 15 actors dates in one day was proving to be really tough. So we had to literally wait a month and a half in between for that period and all that. And our product, we finished shooting quite some time back. Only the songs were left, which we went to Kashmir and finished. If you ask me, we could have finished it earlier, but I think we didn't have a release date in mind.
Right.
We were taking it probably easy because we don't have a release date in mind and there's no pressure. I think we were taking it easily. We could have finished it earlier, but then I'm happy we took our time.
Right.
It all turned out for the best. We were able to see and recut our film. This is some concept I've seen Amir Khan do. When I was working under him in Gajini, 5 months ahead of the film's release, he had test screenings of the film. We had one screening for the masses, we had one screening for the families, we had one screening for the youngsters, and then we took each of their inputs and we tweaked the film.
Right.
Yeah, unlike Telugu films, Hindi films, audience couldn't take violence.
Yeah.
So we toned down the violence in the Hindi version.
Okay.
The ending was abrupt, they felt, when we just matched the original. So then we extended the ending a bit. So that we tweaked. So to sum it up, when I was working under Amir, I seen him do test screenings and tweak his film to take it, literally craft everything perfectly. So this time gave me that scope to do that. We did some test screenings for a few people whom we know and all that. So we showed it to them.
Yeah.
So we took their input. See, once the film goes out, then it's only learning.
True.
You only learn from experience. Rather, let's show it now and then, see what they have to say and then make those things, fix those things. So I don't think people have the sentiment that, if a film is fixed, that means something is wrong. Or or it's like a omen that films don't run if they're reshot or something like that.
Right.
But then we hardly reshot for 4 days, 3 days or something. That's it.
Right.
So I think, and even me nor my director have any such stigma that if a film is reshot means that there's something lacking.
Right.
We're very confident of our film and product and all
Right.
that. It's just like 3-4 days of small scenes which we reshot.
Right. So why was there this little confusion on the release date? Because you were already ready and then you thought you could prepone the
like I said, I think there is some, like I said, we all enjoyed the process so much. We didn't want the film to end. Just keep what is happening in your life, I'm doing Srirastu. We wanted to do that. So what happened, I think we were just taking it easy. We finished our shoot. With Kashmir, we finished our shoot. I think we were taking it easy because there were a lot of big films coming up in August.
Right.
So we thought we'll come towards the later end of the month. But then once a lot of reshuffling happened, we felt that let's open the season. There's the first Telugu film opening this season, let's open the season and come earlier. So then now again we're rushing through and trying to finish everything up quick. But then it's all simple post-production work like CG and DTS, but the film's edit was locked a month back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like to work with Parsuram? We heard that he molded you to be a Telugu actor during the process of the shoot. So was that true?
Telugu actor?
As in he molded you to the Telugu sentiments.
Yeah, exactly. You've done your homework. Like for example, see, I grew up in Chennai, and we speak Telugu at home. But then the kind of schools have been this that I really wouldn't know beyond a point what is it to play a boy next door to the T.
Right.
Unlike say a Nani or a Nikhil who actually grew up like a boy next door.
Right.
So those things I wouldn't get beyond a point. So it is very helpful if a director has had the same life experiences and understanding of that audience, like some words which I would never use in my vocabulary, like Meera nannu saakali, and support cheyu, cheyava, and like pitihurla, complaints. These kind of words I don't know.
Right.
Like, those modulations I wouldn't know. The way I speak Telugu was probably different from how the character spoke. So these things I picked up, and then I realized that he himself is a very good actor. There's a timing in Bujjigaru itself.
Okay.
So then I used to just notice him, and there's an amazing comedy timings here. So I picked a few things from him, and then he noticed a few things in me, and
Right.
he molded and kind of sculpted me. And then certain things I learned even from Lavanya, how she goes about doing things, and then reacting to her timing. So I enjoyed the process. I mean, result got decides, but I enjoy the process a lot.
So during the process, did you realize what you had to change about yourself as an actor? Or?
Yeah, definitely. With every schedule, I think we learn, because I take usually I check, I read, I don't see the final edit once it's cut. I also go through my rushes, because the best parts are usually picked in the film, but then I go through my rushes. I try to learn, I try to see what hairstyles are working, what clothes are working, which makeup is working, what expressions am I able to deliver more naturally. My struggle, if you ask me, my inner jihad is to be as natural as possible in front of the camera, and less filmy and less rehearsed. Okay. So I want to behave in front of the camera rather than act. So I do a lot of homework, on myself. I'm pretty critical. Like I told them not to delete the dump of all my rushes, because I want to go through them again and then see what's working, and where is it that I can get even better and better. Right. There are a few areas I found which is like my natural zone, where I effortlessly can sail through, and there are some places where I can take my craft to the next level.
Right. So you would say that you are your own critic.
To an extent, we have to be. Of course, I take inputs like from my brother, who's also a known actor, from my editor, who's seen 400 films and all that. But to an extent, I think if you have that cell of self-criticism, that is a good vehicle to grow. Right. You're constantly looking to grow.
Right. A lot of people in the industry thought Siri would get into production.
Yeah.
Why acting, Siri?
I didn't like production, honestly.
Okay.
It is a thankless job. I asked, when I was working under Amir, I asked him the same thing, and he felt the same. Like it is a job where somebody puts their heart and soul. There is no financial security, and today producers are reduced to the level of a financier. You just have to dump your money, sit back, and let two people decide your fate. So that's not what I want to be. And then back then, when I was 22, 23, people wouldn't take me seriously for the fact of my age. It needed a lot more authority and experience to command people and all of that, and that I can even do it at 35, 40, 50. I can do it at any age. But then a lot of my friends felt this was the best time for me to get into this profession, because I've done it as a child artist, and they feel that it'll work. They like friends like Sukumar, Maruti, they said నువ్వు చేస్తే మేము రాస్తాం, నువ్వు చేసి నీకు ఎలా అనుకున్నావు చెప్తాం. So and even I wanted to be in cinema. I wanted to act. Yeah. But I never wanted to act in the capacity of a lead, because it's too much of responsibility. So I thought I'll pick up some nice character and I'll play. But then, like I said, I didn't enjoy what work I was doing. Right. It's the most thankless job, if you ask me, production and all that. So I thought, rather than suffering through something which is neither giving you the money, neither the creative satisfaction nor the recognition, pick something which you probably less experience but you enjoy more. So I think I'm very happy I've made that switch. I'm in control of my fate. I pick the story, I pick my director, I work at it for a year and a half, and finally the fruits, whatever, I face the consequences.
Right. So somehow we have always seen you as someone who's very passionate about films and who wants to make a difference in the industry. So has it sunk in that you have become an actor and you're part of this whole system?
Yeah, exactly. One thing I realized, again, only probably educated audience like iDream viewers would understand, and not this thing is, an actor is on the top of the hierarchy, on the food chain. So if any real change has to come, it has to come only from the top. So only if I'm at that position can I really bring some contribution to the industry. And more than fancying myself as a star, or chicks running behind you, or those selfies and all of that, what I see is stardom gives you certain responsibility and authority to do things. So there are a lot of practices and things which I'd like to bring into the industry in my own small way, which I do still. But then those all I'll be able to bring a lot to the table if I have a star, if you're a star. So that's what I'm more excited about.
Right.
Like for example, I'd like to get better technicians, be it styling or art direction or cinematography. I think aesthetics is one department where Telugu cinema is quite lacking. Right. And even in terms of writing, one thing I want to push always is like I want strong women characters. I don't like heroines being pushovers. I don't like them, how do I say, treating them like a piece of meat. I really don't like it. the role can be small, but it should be significant and they should not be disrespected. Like there are certain things like this, which and even in terms of our posters, the way we do our promotional material, our campaigns, and all of that. So not one thing. There are like a zillion things which I really want to bring, and only being a star will let me play and do all of this. As a producer, we did do a lot of innovations, like we were the first guys to make up standees, we were the first guys to do video games, we were the first guys to release an audio CD. So like this, being at the helm of things will only let you bring more innovations.
Right. Yeah. So Siri, known you for so long, I've also known that you have strong opinions on how the system works and everything. Your blogs were very popular. So has your notion changed right now that last 2-3 years that you're acting? Has anything changed, or are you still?
Earlier I was able to understand the industry better. Now I understand the movie going public better, which are two different things. I think I have a better understanding of people's movie watching taste. I'm more patient with people.
Right.
I'm more pardoning. Less aggressive. Yeah, so there is quite a bit change. I'm more patient. Being an actor makes you patient. You have to wait. You have to get up 6 in the morning, get ready and wait for your shot. And if you take the number of hours on a set, it'll only be 4 hours. But then 12 hours of your day is consumed for those 4 hours of work. It teaches you patience. Okay. And then some people, you interact with so many people in life. It teaches you certain humility. Because you are the face of the work which 250 people have put in. So you're getting all the applause or love for it. So that brings in a certain humility and grounding that you're experiencing something which is not yours in a way,
Right.
not solely yours in a way or something. So those changes have come into me. And also, as we go through each phase in life, irrespective of behind, as we go through a lot of incidents and relationships and things in life, we also change. So I think more than in a way, everything has changed me. Probably for the better. Yeah.
Let's talk about the social media criticism. How are you dealing with it?
I really don't deal with it.
Does that affect you at all?
It does 0% affect me. In fact, I laugh it, and I think a bunch of losers who have really not achieved anything in life, they sitting and criticizing is not going to make any real difference to me. Right. And it's quite understood from the display picture what is their agenda. See, if it is a sensible person criticizing, then probably I'll actually think over it.
Right.
I'm open to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
I grow from it. I even the first 2 seconds are a little hard to take. I listen to it. I try to see if there's any bias in what they're saying or if they really mean it.
Right.
But these faceless trolls and all that, I actually don't bother. I have my social media team. So what they do is they just block out all the rubbish and they keep my feed clean.
Right.
So that it doesn't interfere. I really want to see what the real people who matter say. I don't want to lose out on the real conversation trying to read or not read the responses and all that.
Right.
So I really thank my social media team for keeping my feed clean. And trolls, come on, even Mother Teresa gets trolled. The Pope is getting trolled. Dalai Lama is getting trolled.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, you take anybody. If you're getting trolled, it actually means you're a newsmaker or you're a person, somebody who matters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So rather see the good side and ignore the bad.
True. So, Siri, you come from a film family, and a lot of people outside actually think it's very easy for you to make a film. But I'm sure it mustn't have been that easy. With Allu Arvind Garu being so particular about what he produces. So, how was it to convince him to produce this film, Srirastu?
Honestly, it is easier for somebody who belongs to a film family. Having access to these kind of resources is not something easy. So I think in a way, I did get it easier than a lot of other people. But the difference between me and others is I respect and I acknowledge that fact. Rather than saying I've made it, I have my own this thing. I do, I know that if I wasn't Bunny's brother, I wouldn't be having all of this, or dad's son, I wouldn't be having all of these facilities. But convincing dad, as in our aesthetics in cinema are pretty close. Yeah. I myself have a decent taste and judgment. So what I bring or what film which I want to do wouldn't be trash.
Right.
And my dad is not the kind of producer who would get carried away out of blind love for his son and put his money, sink in a lot of money on just thinking that it'll work, or he's not that kind. There is always behind every move there's a smart investor. So this film again, we made it well within my reach, my market. If I've shown X crores on Kotha Janta, we made it only matching that. We've not gone ballistic and spent more. So I think that is the way forward.
Right.
That is how films have to be made.
Right.
So I'm happy. So it was not a tough deal to convince my dad at all, because this film made financial sense.
Right.
Also.
Right. It also has a huge star cast, some big names associated. How was it working with all these guys in the film?
It was really
Was it
like
intimidating or was it?
No,
it was easy.
Not intimidating. I don't know. Probably it's a bad thing that I'm not intimidated. I don't know. But it was like a family, because it was a family film.
Right.
I know the relations as characters. I know that this is my uncle, that's her father, that's her uncle, this is my father, this is my mom, this is my brother, and all that. So our interactions were more on those lines. So it was fun working, and it was great seeing very talented actors like Prakash Raj Garu and Rao Ramesh Garu from close go about their lines, because I grew up on their work, and I'm in awe of Rao Ramesh Garu, especially in and Brahmotsavam. I thought he's gone to another level. It's really like the new Telugu cinema's new gem, who's somebody who can really like anchor a film, anchor a story and take it forward. So to watch, and back then, like say films like Okkadu, Nuve Nuve, and so many films, Bommari and all that, Prakash was literally the anchor of those films. So to see such stalwarts go about their work was such a joy, and they're so effortless. Like it was great working with such people, and not just them. Tanikele Bharni Garu, who's also a writer-director. Sumalata Garu, who's been a heroine back then. Pragati, who's played so many films. Subbaraju, Ali Garu, Prabhasinu, Swapnika, Ranadhir. And then I forgot the other characters. Actress from Kerala who played my Vadina, my Annaya. So it was really a great experience and it was so colorful. Everybody comes from different walks of life.
Right.
It was great working with all of them.
Right. How was the equation with Lavanya? How did you guys break the ice?
Break the ice?
Because this is the first time you actually...
I don't think for me breaking the ice with any girl was like a problem, because Lavanya is an introvert only till somebody just unlocks that talkative side of her. She's quite talkative herself. Our chemistry in real life also is quite similar to what we have on screen. We're always like, I'm always pulling her leg, and she doesn't like it after a point. She only likes to hear nice things. She only likes to hear sweet things. So every now and then it happens like, don't talk to me ever. So that ever, in case I'll talk to her an hour later, she'll underline also, ever. And then it always happens. Then after 5 minutes, she acha, see this, she'll only show. Much more, don't talk and much more, she'll only show this. It was great fun working with Lavanya. What professionally I like most about Lavanya, she's a very natural actor. I really like that's what I said. I like people who behave in front of the camera rather than act. And she has a huge bank of expressions and delivery and all that. It seems very real. If you see throughout the film, it feels, at least when I was dubbing, I felt we both were behaving rather than acting.
Right.
And it was great working with, and like they say, chemistry comes from familiarity. So after the second and third sked, we added small things which were not written nor directed, which we know because we know each other's timing, those small simple stuff. So it was great also to learn from her, because she's done more films and then she's this and that, so it was great working with her. It was fun.
Right. Siri, also you're looking super fit, and you've gone through a lot of transformation. You're working out and everything. What led to doing that,
I think idle time. The fact that I started doing rehab for my knees.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to defeat my knee. Like, it can't dictate me anymore. So out of revenge for my knee, I started running. And to take revenge on my knee, I used to squat and lift weights. So, I wanted to tame my knee. So I used to run, even if it was paining. I used to squat, even if it was hurting. It's not 100% healed, but then that got me started. And then once you're hooked to it, there's a certain liking. I like the soreness which comes after weightlifting.
Right.
I like being where you're literally tired, but in a way you're refreshed after you like go for a jog,
Yeah.
or a run.
Yeah.
So I like that exercise high a bit. So I got used to it. So that, like I said, everything was organic. Nothing was planned.
Right.
And now I enjoy. I'm not a hardcore fitness person who really calculates everything he eats and does X number of reps and has fancy trainers, but then now it's become a part of my lifestyle.
Siri, going by the teaser and the trailer, you look super stylish in the film.
Thank
so Indrakshi, I suppose, has styled you for songs or
the
for
songs
the
and
entire
like in half the film she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why was that decision of looking stylish, looking really
We
fit
just
as well?
we in the scenes
Yeah.
we were being in character. I stuck to plaids. I stuck to plain t-shirts. Nothing that makes a fashion statement. Just simple stuff which any guy would wear because the story demanded me to be as normal as possible. The songs we had a certain liberty because those were our imagination. It was shot in Kashmir and we can't wear the same like normal clothes in Kashmir. So we did go for suits, trench coats and blazers and all of that. And then like I said, as we work more, we understand what works better for the camera. So I played around with my hair a bit. As we go, I realized that okay, these profiles are suiting me better, this length is suiting me better. Now I have even like finding the right team also takes time. Like now I have a good team of hair and makeup artists to help me look best. I have a battery of stylists available. So like with time, we just tend to get better. And then at the end of the day, come on, you're playing a commercial hero, you're playing a love story, so you need to look that part and look presentable, right? So we did put that little effort, nothing major, but then we just thought, let me show how I am.
Right. Any moments from the shoot? You also shot in Kashmir.
The not so pleasant experience we had.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
We went up in a cable car to a place called Gulmarg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a huge blizzard there. Shoot had shut down, or literally there was so much wind, our cameras were flying, so we took all of it and we went under a shelter and this and that. Then 1,500 other tourists were stranded with us, and we had taken official government permits and this and that. And we were once when the service resumed, because we were the lead actors, and they just put us first. And then some of the locals picked up a big fight. It broke into literally like a physical fight between our local production crew and them. Then literally they said just get in, and they just sent us down. And I wasn't scared, but I was like, why is this? As much as it's a beautiful place, you can see that it's a different place. It's not it is not paradise on earth. It's a different place. I mean, there is some hostility. So literally we got into a fight in Lavanya, like getting kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
And then once we got into the cable car and started moving down, did we feel like okay, fine, everything is cool,
Right.
all of that.
Right. So what is the biggest obstacle that you face in your line of work? Is it about convincing yourself that you're doing your job, you're doing your part, or is it about what people think and you have to be in their shoes?
Biggest obstacle, I don't know. For me,
Right.
and personally, to gauge what the audience like is like the biggest obstacle. It's so fragmented. Like somebody like you wouldn't enjoy commercial masala fare. Reviews don't rate those films well. Reviews don't get excited about those kind of flamboyant performances well. And those are the films which the public are lapping up to. Those are the numbers which distributors are looking forward to. And the films which critics are actually going gaga over it, which even I personally like. Those films do very mediocre business. Those films are not able to build careers. Very rare, once in a while, in a year, like there are 2 or 3 films which both the critic and critics and somebody like me, like my taste is also slightly reformed, which we like and which works at the box office. So trying to gauge what works is the biggest challenge, I think, not just for me. Every actor is clueless as in like afraid, because every film is, our life is at stake, right? Our career is at stake. So I think that is the biggest obstacle. To initially when you start, there will be comparisons, there will be you can take it like a legacy or responsibility, whatever. But I think after second or third film, audience will start seeing you for what you are rather than who you are.
Right.
So that obstacle I think I've crossed it by now. I think after this film, I don't think anybody will really like expect anything from me other than what I am.
Right.
Yeah, so that is only the first 1-2 films obstacle that is not now anymore. And then what else? Yeah, so I think the main obstacle is about gauging the audience. I think that's the.
So with Srirastu Subhamastu, are you trying to get into that boy next door league? Because it feels like a proper romantic.
Yeah, like I feel I'm comfortable in that zone. So like I said, I really love romantic comedies. I love family drama. I love love stories, and I really want to do more of these kind of films. More coming of age love stories. I want to try them out. Something like a Kiyanka. Or like Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, or newer kind of like I loved Yeto Vellipoyin Manasu.
Right.
Those kind of films I'd like to try. Also, other than family dramas, which are more like a proven genre and all that. So these are the films I enjoy. And my other tastes in cinema, I'd like to I already locked it up and put up in a locker and just shut it down. I like social dramas.
Right.
I like psychological, action thrillers. Or science fiction. I'm like a science fiction junkie.
But why did you lock them out?
Because we have at least 5-7 years before we can attempt those kind of films and achieve a scale. If you do it, you should do it in Shankar's level. Or you should not really attempt, you can't attempt low budget science fiction. Very hard, rare. And more than anything, probably we can attempt. Probably the audience will see. But there are no filmmakers like that. Trust me, I have interacted, I have met with short filmmakers. I have met with upcoming directors. There is a genuine dearth of writing.
Right.
They only want to repurpose the last big hit and make their own interpretation of it. If Sirivennela is a hit, they want to give the next Sirivennela. If something else is a hit, they want to remix that, and give that. So honestly, I don't think many writers are willing to go that mile, and the ones who are actually thinking on those lines have not grown up on Telugu films. They are Telugu people, but they don't speak the language. They have not seen our films. They've only seen Hollywood, Netflix shows. Bro అనుకుంటూ ఏదో కథలు చెప్తారు కానీ అవి మన జనానికి చెప్పేలా ఉండవు. That's the greatness of say a Murugadas sir or a Shankar sir, because they know how to take a high concept and tell it in a way the common man understands. So honestly, I don't think I'd like to attempt those kind of films immediately till I'm really sure, or unless I get immense faith in that director, that I know that this guy is the next Nolan of our industry, or this guy is like the next so many people in that genre.
Right.
So unless I feel that this guy is going to be the next Nolan or this guy is going to be the next Maverick director,
right,
I don't think I'd like to experiment and try science fiction, psychological thrillers and social dramas and political thrillers. I love political thrillers.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So given a chance, would you want to go back in time, or are you very happy with the phase you are in right now?
Go back in time? No, not really. Because everything you go through in life brings you to this point where you are now. So if you remove any of that, you lose out on that experience.
Right.
So I don't like to correct anything.
Right. Finally, we hear that you've already signed your next film, and it's a love story which goes back in time.
Yeah.
So would you want to say something about it, or
that
you're
film
not
is
allowed to speak?
No, that's fine. That film is another exciting script. It is quite a responsibility, that film, because it needs a lot. There's a lot more weight on my shoulders in that film. So it's about a boy and a girl who've been lovers from another era, 700 years, and they're destined to be soulmates for the next few lives, in every life. But then they'll have to overcome an obstacle. So it's basically a love story. It's not an action revenge film like Magadira or whatever.
Yeah.
The only thing is that they were lovers from a previous era.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's a lot of fun. It's amazing fun. It's got 3 heroines. The story needs the guy to go through different cycles and phases of life. It's got, I don't know, it's one of the most commercial and exciting scripts I've heard. Usually I don't okay any script in like a single sitting. I would have heard 40 scripts in the last 1 year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and some 8-10 of them would have been already directors who had given one film hits and all of that. So this is the first time, even though the director is newcomer, I was ready to go and do it in the first go because the script was so exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
So before I let you go, what can the audience and the fans expect from Srirastu Subhamastu?
Audience can expect some really good, honest storytelling. Like I said, we try to keep away from item songs, punch dialogue, family references, hit film parodies, unnecessary comedy tracks that have nothing to do with the main story. We try to be as honest as possible, yet every scene we've ensured there is entertainment along with the story. And then once you get up from the theatre, you're going to have a dinner table conversation about the film. My biggest takeaway, more than measuring my collections or whatever, will be like how much conversation am I able to generate, that kind of a film. So it's a kind of film which could happen like we say ghar ghar ki kahani, intinti kada, prati intlo jarige kadala untadi. So ee cinema kuda prati intlo jarige kadala untadandi. So we've seen the film, we're quite happy with it, and I'm sure you and your family will like it very much. So there's something, the love story is something that really appeals to the young audience. Right. The boy-girl romance, the teasing, the fun and all that. And the drama between me and my father, she and her father, all these things will appeal to the family segment. So there's something in it for everybody. Right. So that's the best part about Srirastu Subhamastu. It's one of those universal films.
Right. So has the family seen the film, Allu Arvind Garu and Allu Arjun and everybody? Yeah. What are their reactions?
They quite like the film. Right. But usually in my family, we keep things quite understated. So we only left it like, even when I saw Resudara, I said it's very nice. It's quite entertaining and great conflict. And you've done very well. That's ante cheptam.
Okay.
At that point of time, we usually don't go ballistic over our own films.
Right.
Even Sarenodu, I told my brother that the film was fine, but then you rocked. That's all I said. This that. Usually, even that's how my brother also speaks to me or something. He said I quite liked your work, and I think finally playing a character that I could see you in.
Right.
And I liked the movie and nice emotions in the last. It was quite entertaining. That's what he said. Right. So that's probably like, he's more critical than any of you critics can ever be.
Right. Great. So wishing you all the luck, Siri, for the film, and hoping to see more of you this year.
Sure. Thank you very much, Vrinda.
Yes.